You're standing at the gate in 2026. Your boarding pass is in hand. Your bag cleared security. You think you're safe until a supervisor walks over, asks one question about your mobility, and suddenly you're watching your flight board without you. Between late 2025 and early 2026, airlines and airports quietly revised a dozen policies affecting senior passengers. The problem isn't that rules changed. It's that most travelers over 65 have no idea what the new enforcement looks like. By the end of this video, you'll know 12 insider changes every older traveler needs to navigate in 2026. Rules that can save you from embarrassment, fees, missed flights, and denied boarding. Rule 8 is already stopping hundreds of seniors at international gates, and you probably don't even know it exists. Rule 1, the 48-hour pre-request window for wheelchair assistance. You book a flight, check the box for wheelchair help, assume it is handled. For years that worked. Mention it at the counter and someone brings a chair. In 2026, at major hubs like Atlanta, Denver, LAX, and JFK, that playbook fails. Airlines now expect mobility assistance added to your booking at least 48 hours before departure. If it is not in the system when you arrive, staff will say they will try, but you are behind everyone who pre-booked. That is how seniors drag bags through terminals, nearly miss flights, or sit on floors because no chair shows up. When you request 48 hours out, the airline alerts ground handlers, allocates staff, and flags your pass so gate agents coordinate escorts. Same day, requests ask supervisors to pull someone in real time. At busy hubs, there is no one left. Your request queues up. If it is a packed morning, you wait an hour, sometimes until boarding closes. When you book or within 24 hours, call and say, add continuous mobility assistance from check-in through boarding, with no handoffs, to my reservation. Confirm again 48 hours before. Check online that the note is visible. If not, call immediately. Handle that early and you dodge the first trap. But even with mobility locked in, your boarding pass might not let you on if the next hidden rule trips you first. Rule number 2, companion boarding linking under mobility assistance. Ever watched your spouse called to a different boarding group while you're in a wheelchair? If you're flagged for mobility assistance, U.S. airlines under the Air Carrier Access Act often let one companion stay with you through security and boarding. The system won't link you automatically. Say, we're together, and the agent nods. But the computer sees 2 separate passengers. When boarding starts, your name is called for assisted boarding, theirs in group 5, you're alone. At check-in, say, we're traveling together and I'm under mobility assistance. Please link our boarding for companion continuity. Your companion gets pulled into your group or flagged so staff don't split you. What if your helper isn't flying? Your daughter drops you off, but you're anxious about TSA or finding the gate. At many US airports, airlines issue a gate pass or non-passenger escort pass so family can go through security, walk you to the gate, and stay until boarding. At check-in, say, I have mobility issues and my daughter is helping. Can you issue her a gate pass to escort me? Bring her photo ID. If you're flagged for assistance, they'll usually print one. Your companion stays linked, but once you're in line, a hidden filter decides who boards early and who stands in pain. It has nothing to do with group numbers. Rule 3, Special Service Request. SSR, codes for assisted boarding without a wheelchair. You don't use a wheelchair, you walk on. But arthritis makes standing 10 minutes painful. You watch half the plane board and think, why am I still here? You don't need a wheelchair to qualify for assisted boarding. Replace knee or hip, arthritis, balance issues. Airlines recognize those as mobility limitations. That qualifies you for assisted boarding, even walking on your own. Airlines hide this in a special service request, SSR, a back-end note on your ticket. When booking or calling, say, add a special service request for mobility support and assisted boarding to my reservation. It flags your pass. At the gate, you're called with the early group, ahead of general boarding. Once you board early, the next question is where you sit and whether that seat is safe for your body. Rule number 4. DOT, accessibility, seats, and the complaint. Resolution official. A tight middle seat at 68 with a replace hip can knock you out for days. On US airlines under DOT rules, an aisle or bulkhead is not just an upgrade, it can count as accessibility. If you struggle standing, need quick restroom access, use a cane, or have joint pain that makes climbing over passengers dangerous, you are not asking for luxury. You are asking for safety. At check-in or the gate, say, I need an accessibility seat for mobility and comfort under DOT policy. If that is not possible, may I speak with the complaint resolution official? That tells them it is about accessibility, not preference. The CRO handles disability issues and can provide accommodations. US airlines must have one available, even if there is no sign. This can be the difference between a painful middle seat and a reasonable aisle where you can stand, stretch, and reach the restroom. If asking for a seat that respects your joints feels like a victory, Rule 5 takes that into the terminal, using quiet rooms to turn overwhelming airports into somewhere you recharge. Accessibility, lounges, and quiet rooms at major hubs. Ever walked into a terminal and felt your body tighten from noise, crowds, and loudspeakers? Big hubs like Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Denver now add quiet rooms or accessibility lounges, softer lighting, less noise, better seats. Originally for neurodivergent travelers, many now let anyone needing calm use them, including seniors. You won't see signs. They're tucked past security near gate clusters. If you don't ask, you won't know. At information desks, check-in, or gates, say, where is the accessibility lounge or quiet waiting area? If you're already listed for wheelchair or assisted boarding, ask, am I eligible for a quiet waiting area? Sometimes no, but when yes, everything changes. Instead of a 2-hour delay in plastic chairs under loudspeakers, you're in a calmer corner where your heart rate drops and your body resets. If these tips help you breathe easier, hit like and subscribe, because Rule 6 is where medical supplies either sail through or get you pulled aside for 20 minutes. The TSA notification card for implants and medical devices, new knees, hips, screws, pacemakers. You shouldn't pay twice, once in surgery, again at TSA. But seniors in 2026 step into scanners, it beeps, and suddenly you're explaining medical history while passengers stare. TSA has a notification card you print from their site. Fill it out. Metal implant in left knee or pacemaker fitted 2022. Hand it over before scanning. It tells officers you'll see something. It's medical, not mystery metal. For pacemakers, remind them you have one and prefer manual pat-down over handheld wands near your chest. Takes longer, but it is safer. That control, flagging it first, asking for safer options, lifts weight before you reach the gate. If implants are one minefield, liquids and medications are the other. Rule 7 separates travelers who breeze through from those whose insulin gets confiscated publicly. Medically necessary liquids and international pill rules. In 2026, remember 2 buckets, liquids and pills. Insulin, prescription syrups, liquid nutrition, ice packs, keeping them cold. All medically necessary liquids, exempt from 3.4 ounce rules, but TSA wants them separate and declared, not buried in toiletry bags. At the belt, say, these are medically necessary liquids for my condition. They may be over 3.4 ounces. They might swab or scan, but you have told them up front. Pill split domestic and international. United States domestic, TSA accepts weekly pill organizers. International, Japan, UAE, Australia, parts of Europe, those countries dislike mystery pills in unlabeled boxes. To customs, it looks like smuggling. Think of pharmacy bottles as medication passports. Your name, drug name, dose printed professionally. Move a few to organizers for daily use, but keep labeled containers to prove what everything is. Amount matters. A couple flew to Australia with 6 months of one prescription matching their visa. At arrival, customs allowed only 3 months, counted pills in front of them, held the rest until family got involved. Medication was legal, quantity was the issue. Before trips over 90 days, check the destination country's health or customs page. Verify if your meds are controlled there and how many months you can carry. Once liquids and pills are packed, the next step is keeping temperature-sensitive meds safe in the air without counting against carry-on limits. That's Rule 8, the one insulin-dependent seniors worry about most. the dedicated medical cooler bag exemption and crew storage. Traveling with insulin, you've probably thought, is this getting too warm? Is it ruined? Overhead bins can hit 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit on summer flights. For insulin, that's serious. Based on US policies and FAA rules, a small dedicated medical bag is usually separate from normal carry-on. Use a small cooler or insulated pouch with a clear medical or insulin tag. Works reliably on US airlines. Double-check international carriers. Always bring insulated bags with ice packs. On some flights, crew may tuck labeled pouches in galley coolers as courtesy. Best moment to ask is boarding, not mid-flight. Walk on with labeled cooler. Smile at the attendant. Say, "I'm traveling with temperature-sensitive medication. Could you keep it in the crew cooler?" Small labeled pouches make it easy for them to say yes and remember to return it before landing. Knowing insulin is in controlled, cool spots instead of baking overhead lifts, huge weight. You sit, breathe, focus on your trip, remind crew an hour before landing. If keeping meds safe sounds easier, the next rule quietly stopped hundreds of seniors at international gates, and you probably don't know it exists. Rule 9, the 6-month passport validity rule. Your passport expires August 2026. You book Spain in May 2026. 3 months validity left. Should be fine. You'll be home weeks before expiration. At the gate, the agent takes one look, shakes their head. You're not flying. No explanation. Flat denial. You watch your flight board without you. Welcome to the 6-month rule. Many countries, most of Europe under Schengen, Thailand, Vietnam, UAE, Egypt, require passports valid at least 6 months beyond entry or return dates. Doesn't matter, you'll only be gone 2 weeks. If it doesn't meet their threshold, airlines won't let you board. If destination countries deny entry, airlines pay to fly you back, so they filter you at the gate. Most US travelers don't know until too late. Hit seniors hard. Many carry 10-year-old passports they haven't checked closely. By the time you pack, you realize it expires in 4 months. US renewals take 6 to 8 weeks, longer in busy seasons. Rush costs extra. Before booking international trips, check expiration dates now. If it expires within 9 months of travel, renew today, not next week. Today, 9 months buffers processing delays. Also, check the photo, 10 years old, lost weight, had surgery, aged significantly. Biometric kiosks and facial recognition in 2026 compare today's face to passport photos. If software struggles matching you, common with older travelers whose appearance changed, scans stall, you're pulled aside, wait for manual verification. Fix, carry second ID with recent photo, like driver's license, so humans clear you quickly if machines fail. If passport and ID are solid, the rest, mobility, boarding, meds, seats, can work. If documents fail at the front door, other planning doesn't matter. Rule 9 just saved you stress. Rule 10. Real ID compliance for domestic flights. When did you last look at your license for a tiny star in the corner? Starting May 7, 2025, strictly enforced in 2026, TSA requires real ID for domestic flights. If your license does not have that star or says not for federal identification, it is fine for driving, but TSA cannot accept it as checkpoint ID for domestic flights. Hit seniors hard. Many over 65 stopped driving, let licenses lapse, never upgraded to real ID. You need real ID compliant state ID from DMV or a valid US passport. A passport is often easier for occasional travelers, works domestic and international, no DMV trip. But renewals take weeks. When this video ends, open your wallet. Is there a star on that license? Is your passport valid for your next trip? If you are unsure, Rule 10 just saved you from missing a flight. Rule number 11, pre-existing condition waivers and insurance timing windows. Medicare doesn't travel outside the 50 US states. A heart attack in Portugal, a broken hip in Tokyo, and Medicare won't pay. Many regular plans have weak overseas coverage. For international trips, travel medical insurance isn't optional. It's a financial firewall against 5-figure foreign hospital bills. But here's what trips seniors. The pre-existing condition waiver. Most policies include look-back windows, typically 60 to 180 days. Reviewing recent medical history. Flare-ups, new diagnoses, medication changes, hospitalizations during that window, policies without waivers may refuse coverage for related issues, even months later. Waivers remove exclusions, cover you even if pre-existing conditions cause problems. Catch. You only get waivers if you buy within short windows after booking, typically 10 to 21 days. Wait until 2 weeks before departure, the waiver's gone. You're stuck with policies with giant holes, and you won't realize until claims get denied. Before booking international trips, research policies offering waivers. Buy within eligible windows immediately after booking flights. Read look-back periods. Understand coverage and exclusions. Boring paperwork, but it's the difference between affordable trips and trips that bankrupt you if something goes wrong. Rule 12. Connection time buffers and the 90-minute domestic rule. Booking sites sell 35-minute connections at major hubs. Call them legal, technically allowed. Realistically, for seniors needing counter agents, mobility help, or extra walking time, it is a recipe for missed flights and nights on airport benches. TSA says 2 hours for domestic flights. My rule for seniors needing face-to-face check-in or printed passes. Arrive 3 hours early. Extra buffer protects from long agent lines, kiosk confusion, random system flags needing manual supervisor fixes. For connections, aim for 90 minutes, domestic, 2.5 hours international, especially at massive hubs like JFK, Atlanta, LAX, O'Hare. Extra time lets you walk at your pace, find restrooms, handle gate changes, grab water, still make next flights without sprinting through terminals. Booking sites don't care if you make connections, just that they're technically possible. You live the consequences. When booking, ignore recommended times, add 30 minutes as senior-specific buffers. Feels calmer already, doesn't it? If you're still here, you're ahead of most travelers your age. You're not hoping airports go smoothly. You know what to say, who to ask, what to check before locking doors. Airlines and airports aren't slowing, with more apps, scanners, fine print, and enforcement. But with planning and the right language, age becomes an advantage. You get extra time, better seats, real help with meds and mobility, energy left to enjoy trips. If this made flying after 65 less stressful, hit like so YouTube shows it to more seniors and families. Subscribe for deep dive guides like this, not 30-second tips. Tell me in comments, what airport rule blindsided you?